What's happening in Chicago right now could change everything for the next 5 years. We've got a legendary defensive coordinator publicly admitting he's scared of our offense. We've got our tight end dropping locker room secrets no one saw coming. And we've got a special team strategy so nasty it's tearing apart every team we face. But here's what's really got me on the edge of my seat. One of these three things could be the difference between making the playoffs or missing out. And I'm going to tell you exactly which one it is. If you leave now, you'll regret it. Stick around till the end, because what's coming is straight fire. And if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button now, because this is just getting started. First story. Let me kick things off with something that gave me chills. VIC Fangio. VIC Fangio. The same guy who built our defense back in 2018 when we won the division. The same defensive coordinator who's been in the NFL for 33 seasons. This man has seen it all in this league. He's gone up against Brady, Manning, Rodgers in their prime. And you know what he said this week before we face the Eagles on Friday? It's a great scheme. They do an excellent job calling the game, mixing it up, marrying the run game with the pass game. They're highly ranked in a lot of areas, and I don't think it's a coincidence. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you heard a defensive coordinator of that caliber publicly admit respect, no fear for an offense? Because that's what's happening here. Fangio's not just being polite. This dude is worried. And you know why? I'll tell you why. Because Ben Johnson has turned our offense into something the NFL has never seen in Chicago. We're talking about a franchise that's always leaned on defense, on pounding the rock, on physical play. Monsters of the Midway. Right? But now we've got Fangio, a defensive genius, saying our offensive scheme is great and our play caller is doing an exceptional job. Think about that for a second. Fangio knows Johnson. He knows the system. He's watched the tape. And he's still saying, it's tough to defend. That's not a fluke. Folks, that's earned respect. But here's what really gets me hyped. Dan Orlovsky, former NFL quarterback and now ESPN analyst, said something this week on the Pat McAfee show that nails exactly what we're seeing. The playbook is completely open in Chicago right now. And that's all credit to Caleb Williams. He's really playing on time and playing fast. Playing on time and playing fast. That's the key right there. You know what that means? It means Caleb has mastered Johnson's system. It means he's not thinking anymore. He's reacting. And when a second-year quarterback hits that level, folks, that's when things get dangerous for the rest of the league. Look at the numbers. Caleb's on pace to throw for nearly 4,000 yards this season. He's got 36 touchdowns to just 10 picks in 28 NFL games. And during current 4-game win streak, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. 0. Let me ask you, how many second-year quarterbacks in league history have shown that kind of growth? Not many, and definitely none in Chicago since, well, ever. But here's what really fires me up. It's not just the stats. It's the confidence. It's the way Caleb is commanding that offense. It's how he's reading defenses pre-snap. It's how he's adjusting protections at the line. We're watching the full package come together right in front of us. And Fangio sees it. That's why he's concerned. Because he knows when you've got a young quarterback playing with that kind of confidence, paired with a play caller like Johnson, who can exploit any defensive weakness, you've got a recipe for long-term success. Think about what this means for Friday. We're heading to Philly to face the defending NFC champs. The Eagles have a solid defense. But their defensive coordinator is basically telling the world, yeah, these guys are good, really good. That's a massive psychological boost for us. I think this is bigger than most people realize, because it's not just about one game. It's about respect. It's about the rest of the NFL finally recognizing that Chicago isn't just a fluke team with a soft schedule. We're legit. And you know what else? This is just the beginning. Caleb is 23 years old. 23! He's got his whole career ahead of him. And if he's playing at this level now, in year 2, imagine what he'll be in 3, 4, 5 years with full experience in this system. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we've got to handle business Friday in Philly, and with Fangio admitting he's worried about our offense, I'm telling you this, we've got a real shot to go in there and make a statement. A statement that tells the rest of the NFC, Chicago is back and we're not going anywhere. Second story. If that blew your mind, wait till you hear this. Because what Cole Kmet revealed this week about Caleb Williams is something you don't usually hear from inside the locker room. And it's exactly the kind of info that proves what we're seeing on Sundays isn't luck. It's preparation. Kmet talked to Dan Graziano from ESPN and said something that made me stop and think. Listen to this. His command of the huddle, the way he's running it and calling the play, it's night and day compared to last year. That might not sound like a big deal, but when you think about what these guys are asked to do in college, where they're looking at the sideline and SpongeBob or whoever is on the sign, versus now when Ben Johnson is giving you 3 complex plays at once, and you've got to spit all that out with confidence in the huddle, it's way smoother and more confident from him this year. Let me ask you, how many times have we seen young quarterbacks with talent who just can't handle the mental side of the pro game? A lot. Look at Justin Fields. For example, insane physical talent, but always seemed a step behind mentally. Look at Mitchell Trubisky, same issue. But Caleb is owning the mental side, and that's what separates good quarterbacks from great ones. Kmet's saying the difference between last year and this year is night and day. And think about what that means. Last year, Caleb was a rookie trying to survive under Shane Waldron, who, let's be real, had no clue how to maximize a young quarterback's talent. We saw Caleb hesitate, backpedal, take unnecessary sacks because the system wasn't setting him up to succeed. Now we've got Johnson giving him complex plays, multiple options, and Caleb's executing them with confidence. That's the key word, confidence. And you know what else Kmet said? That Caleb's fourth quarter heroics are part of the physical identity the Bears wanted to build. Let me repeat that. Physical identity. Look at the numbers. Caleb and Bo Nix from Denver have more fourth quarter comebacks than any other quarterback through the first 12 weeks of the season. 5 comebacks. 5! I'm telling you, that's not luck. That's not random. That's a quarterback who believes in himself and his team. That's a quarterback who, when the game's on the line, when everyone's watching, rises up. Remember the game against the Rams? Down in the fourth, Caleb marched us down the field and we won. Against the Cardinals, same thing. Against the Vikings last week, again. That's what great quarterbacks do, and Caleb's doing it in year 2. But here's what really gets me excited about what Kmet said. It's not just that Caleb's improving, it's how fast he's improving. Think about this. We're in week 13. Just 3 months ago, after that loss to the Ravens, people were questioning if Caleb was the guy. Analysts were saying, maybe we made a mistake drafting him first overall. And now we've got legendary defensive coordinators admitting they're scared of our offense. We've got our tight end saying Caleb's command in the huddle is completely different. We've got 5 fourth quarter comebacks. Let me ask you, how many quarterbacks in NFL history have shown this kind of growth in such a short time? Not many. And definitely none in Chicago. But here's the part that really fires me up. Kmet mentioned that Johnson is giving Caleb 2-3 complex plays at once. That means Johnson has complete trust in Caleb. It means the playbook is wide open. It means we're not limiting what we can do offensively because our quarterback can't handle it. And you know what happens when you've got a quarterback who can handle a complex system? You can attack any defensive weakness. You can adjust in real time. You can be unpredictable. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Look at the game against the Steelers on Sunday. Caleb was making pre-snap adjustments. He was changing protections. He was reading the defense and making the right calls. And the most important part, he was doing it fast. No hesitation, no second guessing. That's what Orlovsky meant when he said Caleb's playing on time and playing fast. Because when a quarterback can process information quickly and make confident decisions, that's when an offense becomes unstoppable. And I think we're just scratching the surface of what Caleb can do. Because if he's playing at this level now, after just 28 NFL games. Imagine what he'll be like after 50, 75, 100 games of experience. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we've got to win Friday in Philly. And with Caleb playing with this confidence, with this command of the huddle, with this ability to lead fourth quarter comebacks, I'm telling you, we've got a real shot to go into Philly and win, because the Eagles might have a good defense, but we've got a quarterback playing at the highest level of his career. And when you've got that, when you've got a quarterback you can trust in the clutch, you can beat anyone. Third story. And just when you thought we were done, here comes the really wild part, because while everyone's talking about Caleb and our offense, there's something happening on special teams that's absolutely wrecking our opponents, and almost nobody's talking about it. Cairo Santos, our kicker, the guy who's been with us since 2020, the guy who's consistent, reliable, but never gets the headlines. Well, guess what? Cairo just unlocked a secret weapon that's completely flipping the field position game. And I'm telling you, this might be just as important as anything we're doing on offense or defense. It's called the dirty kick, or squib kick. And if you've ever played Madden, you probably know it. It's that low, bouncing kick that knuckles all over the field, making it extremely hard for the returner to field it cleanly. Cairo has perfected it, and the results are insane. Against the Steelers on Sunday, Cairo kicked off and pinned the ball right at Pittsburgh's 5-yard line. 5 yards. Then, on the next kickoff, he bounced it through the landing zone and out the back of the end zone. That gave the Steelers the ball at their own 20 instead of the 35, which is where it would have been if it had just bounced in the end zone. And he kept doing it all game. By the end of the day, the Steelers' average starting field position after kickoffs was their own 21-yard line. The league average is 29.4 yards. Let me ask you, do you realize how huge that is? We're talking about nearly 10 yards of difference in average field position. In a game where every yard matters, where games are decided by a field goal or less. That's massive. Ben Johnson gave Cairo props after the game. He said, Cairo's doing a phenomenal job with some of these dirty kicks, and it's really helping us with our defensive starting field position. And Richard Hightower, our special teams coordinator, said something I loved. He said, what cracks me up is when I see DA, Dennis Allen, our defensive coordinator, smiling big when we tackle the ball at the 5-yard line. Because that's what this does. It makes life easier for our defense. When the other team starts at their own 20 or worse, our defense can be aggressive. They can blitz, they can take chances. Because even if they give up a few yards, the other team still has a long way to go. And it also gives our offense a shorter field to work with. Because if our defense forces a punt from deep in enemy territory, guess where we're starting? Probably on their side of the field or close to it. This is what I call winning the field position game. And in today's NFL, especially with the new kickoff rules, field position is more important than ever. Look at what happened against the Vikings last week. We had that crazy kickoff where the ball bounced weird and we recovered it. That gave us the ball in great field position and we cashed in with points. That was a massive momentum swing in that game. And now Cairo is doing this consistently. It's not luck. It's not random. It's a deliberate strategy that Hightower and Cairo have developed and perfected. I think this is something other teams are going to start copying. Because with the new kickoff rules, where coverage teams can run earlier and returners have more space, the dirty kick becomes the perfect tool to neutralize that. Think about it. If you kick off normally, the returner has time to catch it clean, scan the field, and make a decision. But with the dirty kick, the returner is just trying to field the ball. And while they're fumbling around with it, our coverage team is flying down the field. It's like giving our coverage team a 2-second head start. And in football, 2 seconds is an eternity. But here's what really excites me about this. It's not just that Cairo's doing it well, it's that he's doing it at the perfect time in the season. We're heading into the toughest stretch of our schedule. We've got the Eagles on Friday, then the Packers twice, and the Lions. Every game is critical, every yard matters. And if we can win the field position battle in each of those games, if we can force those teams to start drives deep in their own territory, that gives us a massive edge. I'm telling you, Cairo Santos might not be in the headlines like Caleb Williams or DJ Moore or Montez Sweat. But what he's doing on special teams is just as important as anything we're doing on offense or defense. Because in the NFL, games are won in the margins. They're won with the little things. And field position is one of those little things that can have a huge impact on the outcome. Look at Sunday's game against the Steelers. We won 31-28. A tight game. But our edge in field position was significant. And that was largely thanks to what Cairo was doing on kickoffs. And you know what else? This is something we can control. We're not relying on the other team to mess up. We're not hoping for a lucky bounce or a bad call. This is something we're doing. Something we've practiced, something we've perfected. That's what good teams do. They find edges. They find ways to win that other teams aren't thinking about. And that's exactly what Cairo and Hightower have done with this dirty kick strategy. I think we're going to keep seeing this the rest of the season. And I think it's going to keep working. Because even if other teams know it's coming, it's hard to defend. It's hard to prepare for a ball that bounces unpredictably. And when you've got a kicker like Cairo, who can place it exactly where he wants, who can control the bounce, who can make it tough for the returner, that's when it becomes a real weapon. So while everyone's talking about Caleb and our offense, while everyone's hyping up our improved defense, don't sleep on what Cairo Santos is doing on special teams. Because I'm telling you, it could be the difference between winning and losing in these tight games coming up. So there you have it. 3 stories that are shaping our season right now. We've got VIC Fangio, a legendary defensive coordinator, admitting he respects our offense. That doesn't happen every day. We've got Cole Kmet revealing how Caleb Williams has completely transformed his command of the huddle and his confidence, leading us to 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. And we've got Cairo Santos with his dirty kick strategy wrecking our opponent's field position in a way that almost no one's noticing. But it's having a massive impact. Let me ask you, which of these 3 do you think is the most important for our playoff chances? Is it the respect we're earning from guys like Fangio? Is it Caleb's evolution as a leader and clutch performer? Or is it that quiet edge on special teams that's giving us better field position every week? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I think all 3 are crucial. But if I had to pick one, I'm telling you, it's Caleb! Because when you've got a quarterback who can command the huddle with confidence, who can execute complex plays without hesitation, and who can lead you to comebacks in the 4th quarter, you've got the most important piece of the puzzle. But here's what I really want you to understand. These 3 things aren't happening in isolation. They're connected. Fangio's respect comes because Caleb is executing Johnson's system at a high level. The 4th quarter comebacks are possible because Cairo is giving us better field position. It's all working together. And that's what championship teams. They don't rely on just one thing. They have multiple ways to win. They can win with offense. They can win with defense. They can win with special teams. And we're showing we can do all 3. Friday, we go to Philly. The Eagles are 8-3, just like us. They're the defending NFC champs. They've got a tough defense, an explosive offense, and they're playing at home. But I'm telling you this, I'm not scared. Why? Because we've got Caleb playing with confidence. Because we've got Johnson with the full playbook open. Because we've got Cairo giving us an edge in field position. And because we've got a defense that, when it's defending a short field, can be dominant. This game against the Eagles isn't just another game. It's a statement. It's our chance to tell the rest of the NFC, Chicago isn't luck. Chicago isn't a soft schedule. Chicago is legit. And if we win, if we go into Philly and come out with a W, our playoff chances jump to 82%, according to predictive models. 82%! That puts us in full control of our destiny. But if we lose, our chances drop to 55%. We'd still be in the mix, but we'd have to rely on other results. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather control our own fate. So this is it. This is the game that defines whether we're pretenders or contenders. And I believe we're contenders. I believe we can go to Philly and win. But I need you to believe too. I need you with this team. I need you to be part of this family we're building here. Because this isn't just a YouTube channel. This is a community of Bears fans who've suffered for years, who've seen mediocre teams, who've seen questionable decisions, but who never stopped believing. And now finally, we've got something special. We've got a young, talented quarterback. We've got a head coach who knows how to win. We've got pieces on every side of the ball. And we've got a real shot to do something special this season. So if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button now, because I guarantee you we'll have more explosive news tomorrow. I guarantee we'll be here after Friday's game, win or lose, breaking down every play, every decision, every moment. And you do not want to miss what's coming for Chicago. Because this is just the beginning. This is just the start of something that could be special. Hit like if you believe we're going to win in Philly. Subscribe if you believe Caleb Williams is our quarterback of the future. And comment below which of these 3 stories you think is the most important to our success. Because at the end of the day, this is what matters. We're a family. We're Bears Nation. And when this team wins, we all win. When this team hurts, we all hurt. But I'm telling you this. This year is different. This year, we've got something special. So bear down, family. I'll see you in Philly on Friday. And I'll see you right back here after the game to celebrate a win that's going to shake up the entire NFC. Until next time, this is Miguel Morales. And remember, in Chicago, we don't play DA Bears.